Dear friends, I'm Dr. Mark. For more than 30 years in medicine, I've met thousands of people, each carrying their own story about health, aging, and the body they live in. One of the questions I hear most often is, Doctor, why do I feel weaker every day, even though I still eat the same? Why does my heart race, my legs tremble, and I need to stop to catch my breath after just a few steps? One of my patients, Robert, 68, used to be a construction engineer. He worked outdoors his whole life, strong muscles, steady steps. But after retirement, he sat more, moved less, and one day he told me, I still drink coffee every morning like I used to, but now even holding the cup makes my hand shake. Doctor, I looked at him and smiled sadly because I knew what Robert was losing wasn't just strength, it was a part of himself. That feeling of freedom, confidence, and vitality, now just a memory. And perhaps many of you have felt that too. When your body starts to slow down, when your old shirt suddenly feels loose around the arms, when your knees crack softly as you stand up, you know something is changing. The truth is, that's when your muscles begin to quietly fade away. No noise, no warning. Just one day you realize you no longer walk as fast, sleep as deeply, or wake up as light as you used to. I want you to imagine this. Your body is like a house. Muscles are its walls and pillars holding up everything inside, from your heart and lungs to your mind. When those walls weaken, the house begins to shake, and so does your biology. But here's the good news: muscles never truly disappear. They only fall asleep. And when you wake them up with the right nutrition, gentle movement, and a bit of patience, they return stronger than you think. I've seen people in their 70s, even 80s, regain the strength they thought was gone forever. Science calls it muscle memory, but I call it the body's faith. Because when you believe you still can, your body listens and responds. So today I want to take you on a journey into a topic that seems familiar, but is actually the foundation of health and longevity: muscles. We'll talk about why muscles shrink with age, and the 4 key nutrients, vitamins, and minerals that help you preserve your strength, flexibility, and youth from within. Because muscles are not just what you see in the mirror. They're what help you stand strong in life. You see, muscles aren't just for lifting, walking, or carrying heavy things. In medicine, we call muscles the largest metabolic organ in the body. That means everything you eat, every bit of energy you create, every heartbeat, every breath, even your thoughts are influenced by your muscles. I often tell my patients, muscles aren't just for movement. They are the foundation of longevity. When your muscles are strong, your blood sugar is steadier, your cholesterol lower, your heart more efficient, and your brain sharper. It sounds simple, but imagine this: every time you walk, exercise, or even just stand up from a chair, thousands of muscle fibers release myokines, tiny hormones with extraordinary power. They travel throughout your body, reducing inflammation, improving memory, and protecting your heart. Scientists call muscles the forgotten endocrine organ because they don't just respond, they send messages that keep your body young and healthy. I remember a patient named Linda, 64. She came to me complaining of insomnia and knee pain. Instead of prescribing medication, I suggested a simple practice: standing up and sitting down on a chair 10 times every morning. At first she laughed, "Doctor, that exercise is for young people." But I told her, "No, Linda, that's for people who want to feel young again." 3 months later, she returned. Her voice was calm, but her eyes were bright. "Doctor, I'm sleeping better. I don't feel as weak anymore." And that's what I want everyone to understand. When you nurture your muscles, you nurture your life. Strong muscles don't just help you lift weights or run fast. They help you hold your grandchild without trembling, walk with your loved one without getting tired, or open a jar without needing help. Those small things, that's freedom. The kind of freedom we all crave as we age. Science may call it muscle strength, but I call it the strength of dignity. Because when your muscles stand firm, you still command your own life. Muscles are the ticket that takes you from living to living well. And as you grow older, that ticket becomes more precious than ever. Dear friends, if you've watched the previous parts, you probably already understand muscles aren't just what help us move. They are the foundation of health, confidence, and dignity. But to build and protect that foundation, we need the right materials. Just like building a house, if the bricks are weak and the cement is poor, no matter how good the design is, the structure will still crack over time. The human body works the same way. Muscles can't survive without essential nutrients, the raw materials that allow muscle cells to repair, recover, and grow. And among hundreds of nutrients that science has studied, I want to tell you about 4 core ones, the building blocks that help your body fight against muscle loss as you age. 1. Protein, the golden fuel of your muscles. I always tell my patients, protein isn't just for gaining muscle, it's the language your body uses to heal itself. Every single muscle fiber in your body is made up of thousands of amino acids, the tiny building blocks that come from protein. When you eat protein-rich foods, your body breaks them down into amino acids and then rebuilds them into new muscle fibers. Without protein, that process stops and your muscles begin to shrink. I once treated a man named Thomas, 67 years old. He told me he ate enough eggs, bread, soup, a little fruit. But when I checked, his protein intake was less than 50 grams per day. For his age and body weight, he needed at least 1.2 grams per kilogram, about 80 to 90 grams daily. I told him to add eggs, salmon, chicken breast, lentils, and Greek yogurt to his diet. 3 months later, he came back and said, smiling, "Doctor, I can't believe just changing my meals made my arms this strong again." I smiled back because that's not a miracle, that's biology. Muscles respond quickly when you give them what they need. So if you're watching this, ask yourself, did I get enough protein today? If your breakfast was just toast and coffee, your body might be running on empty. After 50, protein isn't just for building muscle, it's for repairing tissues, strengthening the immune system, maintaining memory, and fueling your daily energy. Protein truly is the lifeline of midlife strength. 2. Omega-3, the oil that keeps your body and mind moving smoothly. I call omega-3 the body's silent friend. We all know fish oil is good for the heart and brain, but few people realize it also nourishes your muscles. A study from the University of Washington found that older adults who took omega-3 regularly for 6 months recovered muscle strength 30% faster after exercise compared to those who didn't. Omega-3 reduces inflammation, improves blood circulation, and most importantly, makes your body more sensitive to protein, meaning you use it more effectively. One of my patients, Margaret, 71, suffered from chronic joint pain. She had almost stopped exercising because of it. I told her to get omega-3 from salmon, chia seeds, and flaxseed oil, not as a magic pill, but as a way to help her body heal naturally. 2 months later, she called me, her voice filled with excitement. "Doctor, I just went back to yoga today. My joints feel lighter, my body feels years younger." And that's the point I want you to remember. Your body doesn't need miracles, it just needs to be heard. When you feed it with natural, nourishing foods, it rewards you with energy and strength. So add fatty fish like salmon or sardines to your meals, or start your day with a spoonful of chia seeds. Don't think of it as a supplement, think of it as fuel for the youth inside you. 3. Collagen, the fiber that holds your strength together. When most people hear collagen, they think about skin, but collagen is also the framework for your muscles, tendons, and ligaments. If protein is the brick, collagen is the cement that binds those bricks together. When we're young, our body produces collagen naturally. But after age 30, that process slows down. We lose about 1 to 2% every year. By age 60, many people have only half of what they had in their youth. I once had a patient named Susan who came to me because her knees made a cracking sound every time she walked. She was afraid it was arthritis. But after testing, I discovered it wasn't her joints. It was her ligaments and surrounding muscles that had weakened. I advised her to take collagen peptides and vitamin C daily, along with light leg exercises. 4 months later, Susan came back smiling. "Doctor, I just climbed 3 flights of stairs and I didn't feel any pain." That's the power of understanding your body. Muscles can't stay strong if the framework holding them is weak. Collagen keeps your tendons, flexible joints smooth, and muscles well connected. And when combined with vitamin C, it becomes the perfect team. Vitamin C activates collagen production, and collagen strengthens your body structure. If you're between 50 and 70, remember this. Collagen isn't just about beauty, it's about freedom. Freedom to walk, to hug, to move without fear of pain or falling. 4. Creatine, the energy source of every muscle fiber. When people hear creatine, they often think of athletes or bodybuilders. But creatine is a natural compound every human body needs, especially after 50. I remember a 74-year-old man named Henry who came to me complaining of fatigue and balance problems. He didn't have heart disease or anemia, but when I tested him, his creatine levels were low because he ate little red meat and his body no longer made enough on its own. I told him, creatine is like a rechargeable battery for your muscles. When it's drained, your muscles can't contract properly, keep balance, or protect your bones. We started him on a small dose, 3 grams of creatine monohydrate per day, and added lean meat, tuna, and eggs to his diet. 2 months later, Henry said, "Doctor, I can walk around the park again without my cane." That's why I believe creatine isn't just for athletes, it's for everyone who wants to live with strength. Science shows creatine boosts cellular energy, reduces fatigue, increases muscle power, and even enhances brain function in older adults. It's safe, easy to absorb, and especially useful for those who eat little meat. If you ask me, doctor, do I have to take creatine? I'd say, not necessarily, but if you want to walk faster, stand up easier, or simply feel more alive each morning, it's worth considering. Because sometimes the smallest things create the biggest change. I know when people hear nutrition, they often sigh, "Doctor, I'm too old to change." But I want you to remember, change has no age. I've seen 80-year-olds rebuild muscle faster than 50-year-olds who gave up. Because what truly matters isn't your age, it's your belief that your body still matters. Protein, omega-3, collagen, and creatine, they're more than nutrients. They're a message you send to your body that says, "I still care, I still want to live fully." And your body listens. It responds with more energy, less pain, and a quiet peace that reminds you you're still strong. As I once told a patient, you can't stop time, but you can make time pass more gently. And the way to do that is to nourish your muscles with love and patience. Because in the end, muscles aren't just what you see in the mirror. They're what let you hold your grandchild without fear, stand up each morning and smile at life, and keep living in every sense of the word. Dear friends, after we've talked about the nutrients, the building blocks of your muscles today, I want to tell you about another group, the sunlight of your body. They are vitamins. If protein is the brick and collagen is the cement, then vitamins are the sunlight and air that allow everything inside you to function properly. Without them, everything you eat just sits there, unused potential. Vitamins are like silent workers, flipping the switches for hundreds of biological reactions from breathing and metabolism to helping every muscle fiber move. And among the many vitamins your body needs, there are 4 that are especially vital after 50 because they directly affect your strength, energy, and recovery. 1. Vitamin D, the sunlight of strength. I always call vitamin D the vitamin of life. Not just because it comes from sunlight, but because it awakens your whole body. One winter morning, I remember a patient of mine, Harold, 66 years old, who came in complaining of back pain, muscle weakness, and fatigue. Tests showed he was severely deficient in vitamin D. The interesting thing, Harold almost never went outside. He told me, "Doctor, I just stay indoors. I don't like sunlight." But that very choice had robbed his body of its most natural source of energy. Vitamin D doesn't just keep bones strong, it's the key that unlocks muscle function. When you lack vitamin D, your body can't absorb calcium efficiently, your muscles cramp, weaken, and ache. A Harvard Medical School study found that older adults with low vitamin D levels are 30% more likely to fall than those with normal levels. Not because they're clumsier, but because their muscles react slower. I told Harold to spend 15-20 minutes in the morning sun each day and take 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily. 2 months later, he said with a smile, "Doctor, I was out in the garden picking apples this morning. No back pain." That's the power of something as simple as sunlight. So if you're watching this, I want you to do one simple thing tomorrow morning. Open your door, step outside, and let the sun touch your skin. It's not just light, it's life itself. 2. Vitamin B12, the body's electric current. If vitamin D is light, vitamin B12 is electricity. It powers your body's wiring, especially your nerves and muscles. I remember a patient named Mary, 70 years old. She often felt tired, her heart raced, and sometimes her fingers tingled. Her tests showed severe vitamin B12 deficiency. When I asked about her diet, she said, "I've been vegan for more than 5 years." A beautiful choice, but one that left her missing the natural sources of B12, meat, fish, eggs, and dairy. When you lack B12, your energy production falters, leading to fatigue, muscle weakness, and even nerve damage. I told her, your body is like a house. If there's no electricity, everything's there, but nothing works. After a few weeks of supplementing with methylcobalamin, she came back smiling. "Doctor, it feels like someone turned the power back on inside me." Vitamin B12 converts protein into energy and helps regenerate muscle and nerve cells. Without it all, your nutrition is like a car without a key. After 50, your body produces less stomach acid, which means it absorbs less B12. That's why I often recommend sublingual or injectable forms for older adults. If you often feel tired, dizzy, or numb in your hands and feet, check your B12. It might be the missing spark your body's been craving. 3. Vitamin E, the muscle's anti-aging shield. Vitamin E doesn't get enough attention, but it's the silent hero of midlife. I call it the shield because it protects every cell from oxidation, the wear and tear of time, and stress. After 50, your body produces more free radicals, harmful molecules that damage your cells and muscles. Think of them as tiny bits of rust eating away at the strong walls inside you. Vitamin E is what wipes that rust away. A study from Louisiana State University found that older adults who got enough vitamin E recovered 40% faster after exercise. That's because vitamin E prevents micro tears in the muscles, those small aches you feel after activity. I remember a former soldier, Mr. Harris, 73 years old. He said that after long walks, his legs felt like they weighed an extra 10 pounds. I told him to get vitamin E from almond sunflower oil and dark leafy greens. 3 months later, he told me, "Doctor, I still walk, but now my legs don't beg for mercy." Vitamin E helps muscles stay flexible, resilient, and strong. It's why I call it the vitamin of endurance. If you ask me for the secret to strong muscles after 60, I'll tell you. Let your body rest under the protection of vitamin E. A handful of almonds, a spoon of olive oil, a serving of spinach. Sometimes health doesn't come from medicine, but from simplicity. Or vitamin C, the friend of recovery. If you've ever noticed that your body takes longer to recover from exercise or bruises easily, you may be low on vitamin C, the faithful friend of your muscles. Vitamin C lives in every tissue of your body. It's vital for collagen synthesis, muscle repair, and immune strength. Without it, your body can't rebuild damaged muscle fibers efficiently. You could eat all the protein in the world, but without vitamin C, recovery slows down. I once treated a woman named Evelyn, 69 years old, who had months of muscle cramps and soreness. She had tried many medications, but nothing worked. When I asked about her diet, she said, "I rarely eat fruit, too much sugar." I told her to add lemon, kiwi, bell peppers, and a bit of fresh orange juice every day. Within 2 weeks, her pain faded. Her body came alive again. Not because vitamin C is magic, but because it restored her body's natural healing power. Vitamin C also reduces cortisol, the stress hormone that breaks down muscle. When you're stressed, cortisol rises and muscle loss begins. Vitamin C acts as a brake, calming your body and your mind. I always tell my patients, think of vitamin C as your body's smile. It lifts your energy, brightens your mood, and makes you stronger from the inside out. Many people think that after 60, the body just endures. But I believe the opposite. Your body is still working for you every day, repairing, rebuilding, and striving. It just needs a little help, a little light, a little vitamin. The 4D, B12, E, and C are the silent pillars of strength and aging. They're not miracle drugs, but when combined with good food and gentle movement, they help you reclaim what age tried to take strength, freedom, and peace. As I once told a patient, when you care for your body with love, it will reward you with calm years. And that's never been wrong. Your body never betrays you. It's just waiting for you to listen. Dear friends, when we're young, we look for strength outside in work, success, or recognition. But after 50, we discover that true strength is staying steady, smiling and loving, even when the body changes. And these nutrients, these small vitamins, are the quiet flame that keeps that strength alive. Eat with gratitude. Move with joy, not obligation. And each morning when you take that tiny vitamin, remind yourself, I'm still alive and I can still be better than yesterday. Because your body, no matter your age, is the home your soul lives in. And you can always make that home brighter, stronger, and warmer. Dear friends, when I was a young doctor, I used to believe that health came only from the big things: exercise, diet, medicine. But after more than 30 years in medicine, I've realized sometimes it's the smallest things that make the biggest difference. Inside the human body, there are elements you need only in milligrams, yet without them, everything starts to fall apart. Muscles cramp, the heart skips, beats sleep, becomes restless, and memory fades. These are minerals, the tiny electrodes that keep the entire body alive and balanced. And among them, there are 4 essential ones after 54 silent friends that keep your muscles strong, your heart steady, and your spirit young. 1. Magnesium, the rhythm of life. If there's one mineral I wish everyone over 50 would pay attention to, it's magnesium. It's involved in over 300 biological reactions, from keeping your heart beating and muscles contracting to regulating your sleep and mood. I often call magnesium the mineral of calm because when it's balanced, your body runs like a smooth symphony. But when it's low, that symphony falls out of rhythm, your body trembles, cramps, struggles to sleep, and your heart races. I remember a patient named Robert, 70 years old, who suffered nightly leg cramps. He told me, "Doctor, I wake up with my calf locked tight, the pain is unbearable. I spend the night massaging it." His magnesium levels were well below normal. I didn't prescribe painkillers. I simply told him to eat more leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, bananas, and take 1 magnesium glycinate capsule each evening. 2 weeks later, he returned smiling softly. "Doctor, for the first time in years, I slept through the night." Magnesium doesn't just relax your muscles, it soothes your nerves, reduces stress, and improves sleep quality. And sleep is your body's natural gym, where every muscle fiber recovers, rebuilds, and grows. I often say you can't build muscles in the gym if you don't let them rest at night. And magnesium is the guardian of that rest. Sadly, 70% of people over 50 are deficient due to low vegetable intake, too much coffee, or alcohol. So if you find yourself cramping, exhausted, or sleepless, your body might be whispering, I need a little magnesium. 2. Zinc, the metal of strength and renewal. If magnesium is the mineral of calm, zinc is the mineral of power. Your body needs only a few milligrams each day, but without it, your hormones, immunity, and muscle repair slow down. I remember a patient named David, 62 years old, who had lost his sense of taste and felt constantly tired. His skin was dry, his hair thinning, and his energy low. He was severely zinc deficient. Zinc doesn't just affect skin or hair, it also regulates testosterone, the hormone behind muscle energy and confidence. After I told him to eat oysters, lean beef, pumpkin seeds, and eggs within 2 months, he said, Doctor, I'm sleeping better, eating better, and I feel like myself again. That's the magic I've seen countless times when your body gets enough zinc. Strength returns. Zinc helps your body repair tissues and synthesize protein after exercise or injury. It's the silent mechanic fixing the micro tears you can't see. For men, zinc is a lifelong ally when testosterone drops, muscles weaken, mood declines, and confidence fades. Restoring zinc helps reverse that naturally. For women, zinc helps balance hormones, improve metabolism, and support sleep. Remember this. Zinc doesn't just make you strong, it helps you feel like yourself again. 3. Calcium, the foundation of strength. When people hear calcium, they think of bones. But few realize calcium is also the language of muscles. Every time you move, lift an arm, take a step, even smile, calcium is the signal that tells your muscles to contract. Without calcium, your muscles can't move. And without muscles, your bones can't stay strong. They exist together like two old friends holding hands through time. I once met Helen, 74 years old, who had broken her wrist after a fall. She lived in fear, afraid to move, afraid to fall again, afraid of aging faster. Her bone density and calcium levels were very low. I told her, Helen, your bones aren't weak because of age, they're weak because they've been starving too long. We rebuilt her bone plan, almond milk yogurt, green salmon, and lightweight training for a few minutes every morning. 3 months later, she said, I still fear falling, but I no longer fear living. Sometimes health isn't just about the body, it's about losing the fear. Calcium at its deepest level symbolizes stability, not just in bones, but in how we live. And remember, calcium only works when paired with vitamin D and magnesium. Alone, it's like a brick without mortar or a foundation. Think of your body as a balanced ecosystem, each mineral supporting the other. Or iron, the bloodstream of energy. If there's one mineral I call the heartbeat of life, it's iron. Iron is what allows red blood cells to carry oxygen, the fuel for every heartbeat and every muscle movement. I once asked a patient, do you know what low oxygen feels like? He said, it's climbing a few stairs and feeling like I just ran a marathon. He didn't have heart disease or lung problems, just iron deficiency. When you lack iron, your muscles don't get enough oxygen. You feel weak, tired, and drained after the simplest tasks. Women after menopause and people who eat little red meat are especially vulnerable. The danger is iron deficiency creeps in quietly. You just feel a little more tired, a little out of breath, and blame it on age. But it's not age, it's your body asking for life's most essential fuel. I remember Grace, 68, who told me she'd lost the desire to walk. Her body felt heavy, her mind foggy, her heart raced. Her hemoglobin levels were very low. We boosted her iron with beef liver, spinach, lentils, and orange juice to improve absorption. 2 months later, she walked into my office radiant. Doctor, I just walked around the lake, no breaks this time. When iron flows, hope returns. Magnesium relaxes your muscles. Zinc rebuilds them. Calcium keeps your bones firm. Iron fuels it all. 4 minerals each, a note in the grand symphony of aging strength. But beyond the body, your soul also needs nourishment. I once asked an 80-year-old patient, Mr. Anderson, what kept him healthy. He smiled and said, I eat well, I rest well, and I find one reason every day to be grateful. I believe gratitude is the 5th mineral. No pill can replace it, and no meal is complete without it. Dear friends, after more than 3 decades in medicine, I've learned this. The human body is like a delicate orchestra. Each mineral is an instrument small on its own, but together they create the music of life. Magnesium is the soft melody that lulls you to sleep. Zinc is the drumbeat that drives hormones and vitality. Calcium is the baseline, steady and grounding. Iron is the breath, the rhythm that keeps time alive. When all 4 play together, your body becomes a perfect harmony, strong, resilient, and calm. When one is missing, the song falters. But the beauty is, you can retune the music anytime. Eat mindfully, move gently, Live gratefully. I've seen men and women in their 70s and 80s regain their strength simply because they believed their bodies were still worth loving. And I hope you watching this now will believe that too. Health isn't just the absence of illness. It's the ability to hug someone without trembling, to laugh out loud without fatigue, and to wake each morning still finding reasons to live. Take care of your muscles. They hold your strength, your memory, and your resilience. And never forget your four silent friends: magnesium, zinc, calcium, and iron, the tiny minerals that keep you alive one heartbeat at a time. Dear friends, if you followed me from the beginning, you may have realized this video isn't just about muscles. It's about the memory of the body, the quiet resilience within us, and how to live beautifully in the years we have now. I want you to imagine once more your body as a home. Every good meal is a brick, every peaceful night's sleep is a wall restored, and every gentle movement is a pillar reinforced. Day by day, that home grows stronger, not to resist aging, but to embrace it with calm and confidence. We've talked about how muscles are more than movement. They're a metabolic engine, an overlooked endocrine organ, producing myokines that sharpen the brain, strengthen the heart, and lift the spirit. We've faced the truth of muscle loss, hormonal shifts, slower lifestyles, poor protein intake, shorter sleep. Not to complain, but to reclaim our choices. We explored four nutrients: protein, the language of healing; omega-3, the oil of mobility; collagen, the thread of strength; creatine, the battery of every muscle fiber; four vitamins: D, the sunlight of strength; B12, the current of energy; E, the shield of youth; and C, the friend of recovery. And four minerals: magnesium, the rhythm of calm; zinc, the metal of resilience; calcium, the foundation of structure; and iron, the bloodstream of vitality. But if I left you only with knowledge, I'd have failed. Because what matters most is not what you know, but what you do. So when this video ends, I want you to take one small action today. I remember Robert, 70 years old, who lost sleep because of leg cramps. We didn't start with a gym membership or a list of medications. We started with one capsule of magnesium glycinate before bed and a bowl of greens each day. 2 weeks later, he slept through the night the first time in years. I remember Linda, 64, who hesitated to stand up because of knee pain. We didn't talk about marathons. We talked about standing up and sitting down 10 times every morning. 3 months later, she told me she slept better, breathed deeper, and laughed more. I remember Grace, 68, exhausted from iron deficiency, gasping after a few steps. We added beef liver, spinach, lentils, and a glass of orange juice. 2 months later, she walked the full circle around the lake without stopping once. Their stories could be yours. Not because they're miraculous, but because the body remembers. It remembers your kindness every time you treat it gently with a meal full of protein, a short walk, 10 minutes of morning sun, an early night's sleep, or a deep breath. So let me ask you, and I hope you answer honestly to yourself. Tomorrow morning, can you add 20-30 grams of protein to your meal? A cup of Greek yogurt, 2 eggs, or a small piece of salmon, whatever feels doable. At noon, can you step outside for 15 minutes? Let sunlight touch your skin and awaken your muscles. In the evening, can you walk for 10 minutes around your home? Not to burn calories, but to remind your body, I still need you. And tonight, can you sleep 30 minutes earlier? Because no place rebuilds muscle better than your bed. You don't need to change your life in a day. Just one small choice repeated long enough becomes who you are. Someone once asked me, "Doctor, what's more important, nutrition, exercise, or sleep?" I smiled and said, "The most important thing is the one you're willing to do consistently. The day you drink one more glass of water, eat a handful of almonds, schedule a short walk with your partner, or text your grandchild to do squats with you, that's the day age loses some of its power." My friends, I won't promise that every pain will vanish or every staircase will feel easy. I can only promise that the feeling of control will return. The sense of stability will return. And peace, the kind we thought belonged only to youth, actually grows in true maturity when we care for both body and mind with respect. So here's my gentle call to action for you. 1, choose one small habit today: 10 sit-to-stands or a 10-minute walk, or 25-30 grams of protein at breakfast. Just one. 2, write it down and place it somewhere visible. I'm reawakening my muscles. 3, share your commitment in the comments so this journey becomes a shared one. Once you speak it, you're halfway there. 4, come back in 7 days and tell me, did you sleep better, climb stairs easier, or feel your old shirt fitting a little closer? If you found value in this message, please hit subscribe, not for numbers, but for a regular appointment between us, where I, Dr. Mark, will share more stories about muscles, sleep, the heart, and the joy of living. Click like if something here touched you because that click might bring this message to someone who needs it. And share this video with a friend who's tired of stairs or a partner losing sleep to leg cramps. Maybe all they need is one small spark to begin. Before we close, do this with me, just 10 seconds. Take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. As you breathe out, whisper thank you. Thank your legs for carrying you through the years. Thank your arms for still holding those you love. Thank your heart for beating faithfully. And thank your muscles, smaller now maybe, but never gone. I'm Dr. Mark. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Tell me in the comments how old you are, where you live, and which small habit you'll start tomorrow. I read every message because that's where I relearn an old truth. Health is a conversation between a person and their own body. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, your muscles aren't gone. They're just waiting for you to call their name. So call them today.